Namaskar. Thank you for joining me. This is your tutorial for week 2 of your seated poses. In this tutorial, I will say the Sanskrit names of the poses with the English translations. It would be helpful if you had a blanket, a couple of blocks, and a strap. This first pose is called Fastikasana, or auspicious pose, one of my favorites. Let's begin with straight legs. Now bend your right leg and tuck your right shin underneath your left knee. Take your left leg to the outside and tuck it underneath your right shin. You should have enough room in this pose to be able to place a block right there between your shins and your inner thighs. The shins, ideally, are moving towards being parallel to the front of the mat. Catching hold of the knees, turn the eyes of your elbows to face up and lift the chest. Chin is level, breath is deep. The more you press down with the thighs, the higher you can lift your chest. This is Fastikasana, auspicious pose. Now let's do it with the opposite cross of the legs. Release your knees, straighten your legs, and then bend your left leg and take it underneath your right knee. Bring your right leg to the outside. Turning the bottoms of the feet up is a little challenging, but give it a try anyways. And then with those shins parallel to the front of the mat and crossed midway at the calf, take your hands to your knees, turn the eyes of the elbows up, and lift your chest. Pressing away with the feet, pushing down with the thighs, and keeping the belly firm helps you obtain the proper position in this pose. Soft gaze, take a deep breath in, and then exhale and release your pose. This next seated pose is a foundation pose for almost all the seated poses. It's called Dandasana, or staff pose. So you'll be taking your blanket and placing it underneath your hips. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see a little bit better. Straighten your legs and sit right on the edge of the blanket. Press your heels forward. Bring your toes straight up to the sky and then push down with your hands. Fingers face forward. Turn the eyes of the elbows, the center of your elbows forward. Shoulder blades come together and lift the sternum bone. Look straight ahead. Breathing deep here. This is Dandasana, staff pose. Your next pose is Urdhva Hastasana in Dandasana, upward hands in Dandasana. This makes your body work a little bit harder. Press down into the upper thighs and reach away with those heels. Now reach your arms straight forward. Turn the eyes of the elbows up with the palms still facing each other. Lift your arms above your head. Deep breath here. Extending upward with the fingers and pressing down with the thighs. Releasing the hands back down to Dandasana on your exhalation. Now to Pashimotanasana. Find your strap or a tie or a belt or even a dishcloth would work. Take your strap to the balls of your feet. Hold on to the strap with both hands and have space between the inner edges of your feet. As you pull on the strap, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and once more, turn the eyes of the elbows to face upwards. Lift your chest. Pashimotanasana, Western stretch. As you exhale, bend your elbows and come forward any amount. Strive to keep the spine concave. Your gaze forwards and down past the cheekbones and soft. Reaching the heels forward, pulling back with the strap, 2 more breaths. Just feel the stretch in the back side of your body, the western side of your body. And then inhaling, rise up, straighten arms. Exhale, and release the strap. Your final seated or a prone pose is called Savasana. And it's the pose that we end with in every class. I'd argue the point that it's the most important pose of your entire practice. It looks like this. You take your hips off the blanket. You can move the blanket to the front of the mat so you can use it for a little pillow. Your head and your neck will go on the blanket, but your shoulders will not. Hold on to the backs of the thighs, round your spine, and slowly lower down. Place the blanket so that it just touches the top of your shoulders. It snuggles into the top of the shoulders. And then straighten the legs, again reaching those heels forward as you did just a moment ago. Then relax the legs and let the feet fall open. Let the inner thighs roll up. Take your arms next to your sides, flatten your shoulder blades underneath you, turn your palms up so that the thumbnails touch down for just a moment. And then relax the arms, close your eyes, relax your jaw, your tongue, your lips. Breathing in and out softly and naturally through the nostrils. Just letting the face be serene and quiet and soft. This is Savasana, or deep relaxation pose, often translated as corpse pose, as you lay the body down. Releasing any effort in the breath. Your inner gaze in this pose is inward and downward to behind the sternum bone. You spend time here with your higher self and with the divinity that resides within. To come out of your Savasana, give the fingers and toes a little wiggle. Roll your wrists and your ankles around and turn your head side to side. Sweep the arms above the head. And as you exhale, bend your knees one at a time. Shift your hips over to the left. And then roll over onto your right side. For demonstration purposes, I'm on my left, but you should be on your right. And then keeping the head heavy, using the hands, notice I'm going to straighten my top leg. It helps me walk myself back up. I take the blanket back underneath my hips. You do the same. And I take the left shin in and the right to the outside, returning back to Fastikasana. And then Namaskarasana, prayer position hands, in Fastikasana, auspicious pose. This concludes your tutorial for your seated poses for week 2. Namaste.